Welcome, 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 DMV, and to each and every guest partner and advocate of Miriam's Kitchen. I'd like to welcome you to the very first Guest Fest, Inaugural Guest Fest, if you're a little fancy. Who am I? Only Poet Taylor, proud host of Midday Shenanigans on WPGC 95.5, host of Your Dish Minute on Dish Nation on Fox 5 and Fox 5 Plus, and proud board member at Safe Shores, DC. Now, I'm also a village cousin, but that's another story for another day. I know the other question you may have is, what is Guest Fest? Well, believe it or not, it's actually just as it sounds. We're taking over your interwebs, your socials, all that and then some to give you a virtual festival that is dedicated to celebrating all of the beautiful and fearless individuals that connect with staff and supporters of Miriam's Kitchen. We'll also provide an inside look at Miriam's Kitchen as one of the leading voices in the fight to end chronic homelessness in DC. To kick off things, I'd like to introduce you to three people who'll share more about the importance of Guest Fest. First, it's Miriam's Kitchen's president and CEO, Scott Schinkelberg, followed by Chief Development Officer May Powers and Chief Advocacy Officer Lara Pukech.
Welcome to the first ever Miriam's Kitchen Guest Fest. My name is Scott Schinkelberg. I'm the president and CEO of Miriam's Kitchen. I am thrilled to have you join us for this digital celebration for the resilient and courageous people that we call our guests. Our guests and their goals are the center of our mission at Miriam's Kitchen. In the past year alone, we served 70,000 meals, housed 130 of our guests, and secured vouchers that will end homelessness for 2,400 individuals. I'm hopeful that you can help us duplicate that success by joining our 2021 More Than a Meal campaign, which will put you in the driver's seat as an official fundraiser for Miriam's Kitchen. You can get your fundraiser started today. Just go to miriamskitchen.org. Again, many thanks for joining MK Guest Fest today, and I hope you enjoy.
I think the first thing that individuals need to continue to realize is that homelessness is solvable. Homelessness has not always existed as this intractable social problem, but it's been caused by policy decisions, budget decisions, governmental decisions, and it's going to take those same sorts of policies, budgets, and governmental choices to end homelessness.
In order for us to end chronic homelessness, we have to address the fact that homelessness is rooted in institutional racism, systems that oppress people of color disproportionately. Once we recognize that there are systems in place that contribute to homelessness, then we can begin to start to address how do we undo these systems, and how do we create opportunities for people of color to essentially bounce back from systems that have been put into place that have contributed to this homelessness problem.
When you talk about intersectionality as it relates to the LGBTQ community and homelessness in particular, I think we've got to raise the bar. As we affirm members of our LGBTQ community, we've got to be able to educate their families. I know what it is to be told by my parent, I don't understand this, and perhaps the best thing for you to do right now is to leave my home. They've got to be made to realize when you ask your gay son or gay daughter or trans son or trans daughter, when you ask them to leave your home, you've got to understand the damage that that does to their psyche, to their very existence on this planet, and to their welfare.
So we believe that we end homelessness by meeting people where they're at and recognizing that homelessness is not the result of something that somebody did, but rather the circumstances in which they're living. So at Miriam's Kitchen, we're hoping that people fundamentally understand that homelessness is solvable, but that's only going to happen if we shift our understanding of what homelessness is from something that an individual did to something that that multiple systems have done to an individual.
I'm Lara Pukach, Chief Advocacy Officer at Miriam's Kitchen. As you know, today we're hosting our very first Guest Fest. But in addition to celebrating the amazing individuals in our community, we're also commemorating Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. Now is the time to recruit our family, friends, coworkers, and classmates to join in the fight to end chronic homelessness. At Miriam's Kitchen, we don't just provide healthy meals, we also advocate for real change. We push local policymakers and we partner with those with lived experience to make sure that we end chronic homelessness in the nation's capital for good. We know that when we come together, powerful change is possible because we've seen it firsthand. Thanks to your support, thousands of Washingtonians who have raised their voice, and hundreds of our organizational partners, we were able to secure the funding in DC's budget to end homelessness for over 2,000 individuals. This is an unprecedented opportunity to end homelessness in the district. But we're not done yet. This year, we'll be working hard to hold policymakers accountable to their commitments to make sure that money gets out the door and to the people that need it most. We'll also be keeping a close eye on the city's approach to encampments and making sure that it connects people to housing without causing further harm and displacement. But we need your help. To join us, we hope you'll join the Way Home campaign, DC's local movement to end chronic homelessness that's led by Miriam's Kitchen. To join us and to receive regular updates to take action, visit thewayhomedc.org.
Hi, friends of Miriam's Kitchen. Thank you so much for joining our first ever Guest Fest. My name is May Powers and I'm the Chief Development Officer at Miriam's Kitchen. One of the favorite parts of my job is getting to meet caring community members like you who want to support their neighbors living outside and create a community where everyone has a safe place to call home. If that's you, I hope you'll join our More Than a Meal campaign. Visit miriamskitchen.org to learn more, and in just a few clicks, sign up to be a volunteer fundraiser. Whether you raise $5, $50, or $100, your support will go a long way in fueling the life-saving work from Meals to Housing that Miriam's Kitchen provides. It will also help spread awareness that ending chronic homelessness in DC is possible, and you can be a part of making that happen. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Sharmika.
And I'm Swin.
We're with the Merit Group DC.
And we're proud to be sponsors of Miriam Kitchen's Guest Fest.
Make sure you're following along, tag us on social media, and participate in today's event.
So I know, you get it. Miriam's Kitchen's guests and staff are top notch, the bee's knees even. But we can't forget to shout out our volunteers. Let me tell you, volunteers are literally what make the day-to-day world at MK go round. Let's take a look at some of them in action.
I'm so excited to be here at Miriam's Kitchen supporting their Guest Fest upcoming event. We're so excited about all the winter warm-up materials that we're going to be able to provide to the district. So make sure you're logged in, you're connected, and you're participating in Guest Fest. Thank you so much.
So now that you've heard all about who Miriam's Kitchen is, let's hear from the folks who make life at MK the inspiring experience that it is. Joining us live right now is none other than MK advocate and poet Robert Warren, who'll be sharing an original piece that I am sure will blow you away.
Bridge. Under the bridge they lived for some 8, 9, and 10 years. Many of men and women born and raised here. They lived and died here. The neighbors who walked by disengaged. They never stopped to ask why would one need to get away from the cold, cold rain of those winter days to looking up to the lights artfully designed. Raindrops of a space and time on L&M Street in Noma, the place they say no more African Americans will stay. The passerbyers are getting lighter and lighter by the day. Tall buildings being built every day for which the middle class live, work, and play. Looking down on that homeless man, that poor pregnant woman with child in hand, trying to stand up and have a home with no father, or surely not a black man. That homeless woman living under the bridge, now with her LGBTQ plus friend always hanging around. Only the Lord knows where they go at the wee hours of the night, a safe place to hide, to stay out of sight. In the most powerful city in the world, how can this be? The reality, some people's days, those who pray for the end of days. To come out of the rain, to take cover under the bridge of opportunities on the other side, a new grand hotel, a 11-story, 3-block apartment building standing high with efficiencies and 1-bedroom apartments in the sky for all those new people walking by while old DC is left to live under the bridge and die. Nobody asks why. Are these the end of days? The CDC say let people stay in their place. There's no more cover under the bridge today. Concrete boulders in the city deputy mayor has moved people away. A new pilot program, they say. Housing is a human rights. That will be the day. Let us pray that Mama J and they all have a place to be, and let's come together and work and make it today. As we know, tomorrow's not promised to anyone. As the saying goes, homeless no more. A homecoming for a king and queen. Let the bells of heaven ring. For the longest night we spent a day in remembrance of those who passed away without the dignity of a home. Not under a bridge all alone, looking out to no opportunities on the other side. Only those new people walking by, and praise the Lord for those people who give thought and wonder why are there people being left under a bridge to die, and how can I?
Let me tell you, one of the things that makes Miriam's Kitchen such an amazing organization is that its advocates are one of a kind. Joining us live today to perform her songs, Together We Rise and Rise from the Ashes, is singer, songwriter, and advocate, Emma G.
This song is called From the Ashes. It's a song about building back stronger, resilience, and hope. Because when you've lost everything, we need to remember from the ashes, the phoenix rises. And together, we really are stronger. You thought you knew it all, and everything was certain. Sitting high upon your throne, so comfortable and certain. Chaos has a habit of testing who you are. Submissive or a savage, timid or a sword, we rise up now. Let the flames lick the wounds of the past. Burn it to the ground, burn it to the ground. We rise up now. Let the change be the truth that will last. Burn it to the ground, burn it to the ground. And we rise from the ashes. Trying to find your perfect, but judgment has a habit of breaking your own heart. past. Burn it to the ground, burn it to the ground, and we rise from the ashes. And we rise from the ashes. If the way Home DC has taught us anything, is that together we really can achieve more. So this song is called Together We Rise. It's a song about hope, teamwork, and rising together. Have I done enough? Do I make it up? And I've dreamt about this for so long. Am I good enough to carry on in every page? My darling bride, though I know it's what I need to do, can I bear my soul and live my truth? I'll be line after line. If I'm here with this stormy mind, I feel it beat in my heart, coursing through my veins. The magic of fear is ready to rise again, breaking the walls we're building our minds. The magic of love, together we rise. Together we rise. And I know the doubt will break us, but that's never quite what makes us who we are. You know the way the riders stay true to the higher power of you and I. Together we rise, beat in my heart, coursing through my veins. The magic of fear is ready to rise again, breaking the walls we're building our minds.
I think the first thing that individuals need to continue to realize is that homelessness is solvable. Homelessness has not always existed as this intractable social problem, but it's been caused by policy decisions, budget decisions, governmental decisions, and it's going to take those same sorts of policies, budgets, and governmental choices to end homelessness.
In order for us to end chronic homelessness, we have to address the fact that homelessness is rooted in institutional racism, systems that oppress people of color disproportionately. Once we recognize that there are systems in place that contribute to homelessness, then we can begin to start to address how do we undo these systems, and how do we create opportunities for people of color to essentially bounce back from systems that have been put into place that have contributed to this homelessness problem.
When you talk about intersectionality as it relates to the LGBTQ community and homelessness in particular, I think we've got to raise the bar. As we affirm members of our LGBTQ community, we've got to be able to educate their families. I know what it is to be told by my parent, I don't understand this, and perhaps the best thing for you to do right now is to leave my home. They've got to be made to realize when you ask your gay son or gay daughter or trans son or trans daughter, when you ask them to leave your home, you've got to understand the damage that that does to their psyche, to their very existence on this planet, and to their welfare.
So we believe that we end homelessness by meeting people where they're at, and recognizing that homelessness is not the result of something that somebody did, but rather the circumstances in which they're living. So at Miriam's Kitchen, we're hoping that people fundamentally understand that homelessness is solvable, but that's only going to happen if we shift our understanding of what homelessness is from something that an individual did to something that that multiple systems have done to an individual.
Woo, child! Village, I don't know about you, but the talent of MK guest and advocate so far has definitely inspired me. I hope you are feeling all the vibes. Now, our final performance for today comes from an artist and MK advocate, Kadir El-Amin. Take it away, Kadir.
Because of you, the 7 affirmations are true. I believe in my dreams because you are a part of the dreams of me being happy, positive, loving, and kind. I'm doing my best because you did your best for me when I did not know what my best was. And you lifted me up out of some of my worst moments. I love myself for who I am because even when I made mistakes, you still gave me a chance. You let me know I did not have to be perfect, just perfectly imperfect. I am in charge of my own happiness because you are a part of a community that allows me to love myself, explore myself, be myself, and learn what happiness means. I accept 100% responsibility for my life because with you, I can be vulnerable and ask for help. The best is yet to come because ever since we met, my life has gotten better, even though I thought it was getting harder. I am grateful for every day because there was a point in life when I thought life was never going to change.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all my company. No, seriously, man, look, I must say, I've learned so much today about Miriam's Kitchen, its mission, its guest community, and most importantly, why it's so important for us to work together to end chronic homelessness in the district. Remember, the housing crisis is solvable, so let's make sure that we all do our part. Don't forget to visit miriamskitchen.org to join the More Than a Meal campaign by starting your own fundraiser to support their programs. Or you can just make a donation by visiting miriamskitchen.org and clicking the donate button right at the top of the page. Who knew Guest Fest would be so litty? Until next time, I'm your girl Poet. Catch me on the airwaves at WPGC. Everywhere that you are on social at Just Curious Poe. And as always, be a blessing, not a bother. Eat bacon, all kinds, because it's delicious, duh. God willing, I'll holler. Next time, y'all. Thank you for joining us. Do we get to dance at the end of this?